Proverbs 31:30. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Good day, everyone. We're off to Think Orange. See you in a bit. Hey, so I just got done thinking orange. Had a good time talking about peace. Fun little skit we did where I made some trail mix and I competed against other chefs who made trail mix, but I tricked them and I cheated and gave them water, and they didn't know that I didn't realize I didn't have water. And so it was fun. The kids liked it. Had a good time overall. Now I'm gonna go get some food because I just got a quick snack before I left, so I need to fill myself up with a full dinner. Go home, watch Survivor and Arrow with my mom and sister, only for Survivor. Heather doesn't watch Arrow. Catch you later. Alright, this day is over. Quite a ways past over, actually. It's after 2 a.m. Just spent the last couple hours having a nice long discussion with my sister about a few things. I won't go into any detail at all, or I won't tell you about it at all. I'll just say that it's just like it just kept going. We were just discussing different things and not arguing, just discussing. So my evening after Think Orange, I went back home. I watched some shows. Survivor. 6 contestants left on Survivor. We have a nice episode. A few things happen that make everyone freak out a little bit, and different things are still up in the air. There's a couple of things that could happen. Turns out 2 of those things, I'm not sure if they're all of the remaining, there are no remaining things left to happen. I think they're all resolved. So there's no like surprises hiding out there anymore. It's just the straight game was all that's left. And next week is the season finale. It's going to have the 2-hour season finale, followed hopefully by the reunion show where they'll talk about the season with everyone and probably announce the cast of next season, since they're allowing people to vote for returning survivors that they think deserve a second chance. I've been voting every day they have 16 men and 16 women, and you're supposed to vote for 10 of those 16 men and 10 of those 16 women, and the top 10 men and top 10 women will make it onto the show. And like I said, they're all returning players. As far as I know, there are no returning winners. It sounds like it's a full second chance season where they're giving it a fair thing. Not with necessarily a bunch of fan favorites or not fan favorites, but just different players that had played the game different ways. There's not a whole bunch of people who played it this one way or this other way. And so it still has a lot of potential to go a number of different directions depending on who these players that get picked are. There are a few that I definitely don't want to see return. And then there are a couple from this season that are still in the game, which is unfortunate because if it's true this is truly a second chance game, it means that those 2 people, which are still in the game, aren't going to win. Which, since we just had elimination and we're down to 5 people, that leaves one of the other 3 as the winner of this season. And if it winds up coming down to a final 3 consisting of those 2 people that are possibly coming back next season and one other person, we know without a shadow of a doubt that unless they're stating the purpose of this season as a second chance season for people who couldn't pull it off, either because they came close or they didn't come close, but just for whatever reason it came into play. If it's not truly a second chance season because we have a former winner on board, that's not right, I don't think. So I'm voting for people I liked, basically. A few people I couldn't remember all that well that I went ahead and voted for. A few people I couldn't remember that well that I didn't vote for because there were too many in that gender that I did want to vote for. Different things like that. But I've watched all their videos, reminded myself who they are. I have a pretty good grasp on all of those things. And I'm excited to see what happens next season. And then Arrow, the season finale of Arrow. And once again, as always, a great episode that there were a few weak points, I thought, and I was able to grasp a little bit the time difference between the two, the Flash and Arrow, because there was always seemed to be inconsistencies. And so from what I've gathered, on this season finale of Arrow, the Flash comes and helps at one point, and what he says about what he's going through back in his city indicates that this episode is a few behind the Flash. And so whereas in the Flash they're already dealing with something and practically resolving it, on Arrow, when the Flash comes in, he says he can't stay and help them because he has to go back and confront somebody about something, which is something he does like 2 or 3 episodes ago on Arrow. About 2 episodes ago, probably. And so that means that when, in last night's The Flash, when Oliver Queen, the Arrow, comes to help, it seems to be taking place after everything is resolved in this. The only problem with that is the way the episode ends in the season finale. You wouldn't see Oliver coming in and doing exactly that, just based on how it ends. They resolved quite a few things. They opened up one giant hole out of nowhere, kind of like S.H.I.E.L.D. did a little bit, that may have resulted in the death of somebody, but not until after everything else was resolved. Go figure. Should be interesting. Like I said, a few things were weak, I thought, didn't make much sense, and it ended with me thinking, aside from that one potential death, was that the end of the series? Because they seem to be wrapping everything up really nicely. And thankfully, the, I don't know, director, writer, creator of the show, someone who's heavily involved in the show, came on at the end and said that he was excited to show us, for us all to see season 4, which is the upcoming season after that, because there's lots of interesting stuff and story arcs and character arcs and things like that. And I'm like, okay, good. That means Arrow will be back. Just not sure exactly in what capacity based on what happened this episode. So it should be interesting. So I've talked for 7 minutes now. So it should be about an 8-minute vlog, roughly, a little more than that, as long as I close it right now. So I'm going to do that because, again, it's pretty late and I am getting a little tired. So I'm going to say, for me and myself and my eye and my pals here, good night, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.